John had always felt a deep connection with his wife, Lisa. Their marriage, built over years of love and trust, seemed unbreakable. However, one fateful afternoon, John's perception of his life was shattered. Deciding to surprise Lisa, he left work early, excited to spend some unexpected time together. As he walked into their home, a peculiar silence greeted him, far different from the usual lively atmosphere. Ascending the stairs, John noticed something odd. The bedroom door, usually closed, was slightly ajar. He heard faint whispers, a mix of giggles and hushed voices. A knot formed in his stomach as he pushed the door open. The sight before him was devastating. Lisa was entwined with another man, both oblivious to his presence at first. Lisa's eyes widened in shock as she noticed John standing in the doorway. "John, I can explain," she stammered, pulling the sheets around her. But John's world had already crumbled. He turned to leave, but another voice stopped him in his tracks. "Dad, I'm sorry," Emily's voice trembled from the hallway. John's heart sank further. His daughter Emily had known and helped conceal the affair. Struggling to comprehend the betrayal, John demanded answers. "How long has this been going on?" he asked, his voice breaking. Lisa looked away, unable to meet his gaze. "A few months," she whispered. Emily, tears streaming down her face, added, "I was just trying to help Mom." The weight of their deceit crushed John, leaving him speechless. John needed space to process everything. He left the house, driving aimlessly to clear his mind. Memories of happier times with Lisa and Emily flooded his thoughts, contrasting sharply with the present pain. As the sun set, he found himself parked at a quiet spot, the reality of his situation sinking in. He knew confronting them again was inevitable, but he needed to prepare himself. When John returned home, Lisa and Emily were waiting, the tension palpable. "We need to talk," John began, his voice strained but determined. Lisa nodded, her eyes filled with remorse. "I never meant for this to happen," she said. Emily, clutching her mother's arm, looked at John with pleading eyes. "I didn't want to hurt you, Dad," she said softly. John's heart ached, torn between his love for his family and the deep sense of betrayal. "Why, Lisa?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Lisa took a deep breath. "I felt neglected, John. You were always working, and I felt so alone." Her words cut deep, adding layers to his pain. "But you should have talked to me," John replied, his frustration evident. Turning to Emily, John asked, "Why didn't you come to me?" Emily's tears flowed freely. "I thought I was protecting the family," she said, her voice shaking. John's anger softened at her vulnerability. "We could have faced this together," he said, trying to hold back his own tears. Emily nodded, her regret clear. "I didn't know what else to do," she admitted. John knew he had a crucial decision to make. Staying in a broken marriage seemed unbearable, yet the thought of tearing the family apart was equally painful. "I need time," he said finally. "I can't make any decisions right now." Lisa reached out, her eyes desperate. "Please, John, let's try to fix this." But John needed to find clarity first. That night, John packed a small bag and checked into a nearby hotel. The silence of the room contrasted sharply with the chaos in his mind. He lay on the bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying the day's events. His heart was heavy, but he knew he needed this space to think. The future was uncertain, but he couldn't stay trapped in the past. The following days were a blur of emotions. John went through the motions at work, but his mind was elsewhere. His colleagues noticed the change in him, offering support but not prying. Every evening he returned to the hotel, the loneliness of the room mirroring his inner turmoil. He missed his family but was haunted by their betrayal. John began seeking advice from friends and family, trying to make sense of his situation. Each conversation brought new perspectives, but no clear answers. "Only you can decide what's best," his best friend, Mark, told him. John knew this was true, but the weight of the decision felt overwhelming. Nights were the hardest, filled with restless thoughts and unanswered questions. Lisa tried to reach out, sending messages and leaving voicemails. Each one was a plea for forgiveness, a promise to change. John listened but didn't respond. He wasn't ready. Emily also sent messages, her words filled with guilt and sorrow. "I love you, Dad. Please come home," one message read. John's heart ached, but he needed more time. Days turned into weeks as John grappled with his emotions. He started seeing a therapist, hoping to find some clarity. The sessions helped him process his feelings, offering a space to voice his pain and confusion. "You need to heal," the therapist advised. "Take the time you need to make the right decision for you." Gradually, John began to see a path forward. He knew that forgiveness, if it came, would take time. Trust, once broken, was not easily mended. But he also realized he needed to focus on his own well-being. "I need to be whole before I can decide anything," he told himself. It was a slow journey, but each day brought a little more clarity. One evening, John decided to visit a park he and Lisa used to frequent. The familiar surroundings brought a flood of memories, both happy and painful. As he sat on a bench watching the sunset, he felt a sense of peace. He knew he had a long way to go, but he also felt the first stirrings of hope. Life would move forward one step at a time. Meanwhile, Lisa and Emily were struggling to adjust to John's absence. The house felt empty without him, and each day was a reminder of their actions. Lisa tried to keep a brave face for Emily, but she was filled with regret. She knew she had shattered the trust they had built, and the guilt was overwhelming. Emily, too, was dealing with her own feelings of betrayal and loss. In therapy sessions, John explored the possibility of forgiveness. "Can I ever trust them again?" he asked. "Trust can be rebuilt, but it takes time and effort," his therapist replied. John knew this was true, but he also knew it wasn't a guarantee. He needed to see genuine change and commitment from Lisa and Emily. Only then could he consider reconciliation. One day, John received a letter from Lisa. In it, she poured out her heart, expressing her remorse and love for him. "I know I've hurt you deeply, and I don't expect you to forgive me easily. But I'm committed to making things right, whatever it takes," she wrote. Emily added her own note, apologizing for her part and promising to rebuild their bond. John's heart ached as he read their words. John decided it was time to have another conversation with Lisa and Emily. He needed to see them face to face, to gauge their sincerity. When he arrived home, the tension was palpable, but there was also a glimmer of hope. "I'm here to talk," he said, his voice calm but firm. Lisa and Emily nodded, their expressions a mix of relief and anxiety. As they sat down, John took a deep breath. "I need to understand why this happened," he began. Lisa and Emily listened as he expressed his pain and confusion. "I felt so alone, John," Lisa said, her voice trembling. "But I realize now that I should have come to you, talked to you about how I was feeling." Emily echoed her mother's sentiment. "I thought I was helping, but I see now that I was only making things worse." John nodded, appreciating their honesty. "It's going to take a lot of work to rebuild trust," he said. "Are you both willing to put in that effort?" Lisa and Emily looked at each other, then back at John. "Yes," they said in unison. John felt a flicker of hope. It was a small step, but it was a step forward. For now, that was enough. John's world had already been turned upside down by the betrayal of his wife and daughter. When he initiated the divorce process, he knew it would be grueling. He hired a lawyer, determined to protect his interests and ensure a fair division of assets. Lisa, aware of the gravity of her actions, initially tried to reconcile. However, John's resolve was firm, and he couldn't imagine rebuilding the trust that had been shattered. The legal proceedings began, and John found himself in a whirlwind of paperwork and meetings. Each session with his lawyer brought new challenges. They discussed custody arrangements for Emily, who was still a minor, and how best to navigate this for her well-being. John wanted to ensure that Emily remained a significant part of his life, despite the betrayal. It was a delicate balance between his anger and his love for his daughter. Lisa, on the other hand, was cooperative but clearly heartbroken. She made several attempts to discuss reconciliation outside of the legal process. "John, can't we talk about this? Maybe we can find a way," she pleaded during one meeting. John, his face stern, replied, "Lisa, the trust is gone. This is what's best for all of us." Her eyes filled with tears, but she nodded, understanding that John's mind was made up. In court, the atmosphere was tense and formal. Both sides presented their cases, with John focusing on fairness and stability for Emily. The judge listened carefully, considering the emotional and practical aspects of the divorce. John found the process draining, both emotionally and physically. He spent many nights lying awake, replaying the events and wondering if he was making the right choices. Friends and family rallied around John, offering support and advice. His best friend Mark was a constant presence. "You're doing the right thing, John," Mark reassured him over a beer one evening. "You need to look after yourself and Emily." John appreciated the support, even if it didn't always ease the pain. He knew this was a journey he had to undertake for his own sanity and future happiness. Lisa's attempts to make amends became more desperate as the divorce progressed. She sent heartfelt letters, left voicemails, and even tried to visit him at work. John remained distant but courteous. "We need to keep this professional," he reminded her when she showed up unannounced. "I've moved out to give us both space to think. Let's respect that." Lisa, defeated, retreated, focusing on her own path forward. Emily was caught in the middle, a position John deeply regretted. He made every effort to shield her from the worst of the proceedings. "I'm sorry you have to go through this, sweetheart," he told her during one of their visits. Emily nodded, her eyes full of questions. "I just want us to be happy again, Dad," she said softly. John's heart ached for his daughter, but he knew this was a necessary step. The division of assets was another complex aspect of the divorce. They had shared everything for years: a house, cars, savings. Each item had memories attached, making the process even more painful. "We need to be fair," John told his lawyer. "I want this done as amicably as possible." They worked through each item, negotiating and compromising, aiming for a resolution that would allow both parties to move forward with their lives. Custody arrangements were the most emotionally charged part of the negotiations. John wanted joint custody, believing it was best for Emily to have both parents involved. Lisa agreed, recognizing the importance of maintaining a stable environment for their daughter. "I think it's best for Emily to stay with me during the week," Lisa suggested. John agreed. "As long as I get weekends and holidays, I think we can make this work." Emily struggled with the new reality of her parents' separation. She had to adjust to a new routine, splitting her time between two homes. John made an effort to create a welcoming space for her at his new apartment. "This is your room, Emily," he said, showing her the freshly decorated space. Emily smiled, appreciating the effort her father was making. "Thanks, Dad," she said, hugging him tightly. The court sessions continued, each one bringing them closer to the final decree. John felt a mix of relief and sorrow as the end approached. He knew this was the right path, but letting go of his life with Lisa was harder than he had imagined. Each appearance in front of the judge was a reminder of what had been lost. Still, he remained focused on the future, determined to build a new life for himself and Emily. As the final court date neared, tensions peaked. Both John and Lisa felt the weight of their decisions. "Are you sure this is what you want?" Lisa asked him one last time outside the courtroom. John looked at her, his expression resolute. "It's not what I wanted, Lisa, but it's what we need," he replied. She nodded, tears in her eyes, knowing there was no turning back. When the judge finally declared their divorce official, John felt a strange mix of emotions. There was a sense of closure, but also a deep sadness. He and Lisa exchanged a final silent glance, understanding that this was truly the end of their shared journey. John walked out of the courtroom, the weight of the past lifting slightly from his shoulders. He was ready to face the future, whatever it held. John's mind began to turn over the events of the past months, the betrayal and the pain. He couldn't let it go without some form of recompense. The idea of revenge started as a small seed, growing gradually into a detailed plan. He knew he needed to be careful, ensuring his actions were calculated and precise. The thought of seeing Lisa suffer the consequences of her actions gave him a grim sense of satisfaction. He started by gathering information about Lisa's lover. The man, Mark, worked at the same company as Lisa, and John knew that their affair had consequences beyond their personal lives. John hired a private investigator to dig deeper into Mark's background, looking for any weaknesses or vulnerabilities. The information he received was enlightening, giving him a clear picture of Mark's life, both professional and personal. Armed with this knowledge, John began to formulate his plan. He wanted to hit Mark where it hurt the most, his career and reputation. John found evidence of unethical behavior and minor legal infractions that Mark had committed. He knew that exposing these actions could lead to serious repercussions. "This is for Emily," he told himself, justifying his actions as a means to protect his daughter from further harm. John anonymously sent the information to Mark's employer, ensuring it would be traced back to him. The fallout was immediate. Mark was suspended pending an investigation, and his professional reputation was in tatters. Lisa, seeing the impact on her lover, began to understand the gravity of her actions. John's sense of justice was satisfied, but he knew there was more to do. Next, John turned his attention to their social circle. He began to subtly share details of Lisa's betrayal with mutual friends, framing it in a way that garnered sympathy for himself and cast Lisa in a negative light. The whispers spread quickly, and soon Lisa found herself isolated and judged by those she once considered friends. It was a harsh reality for her, one that John watched unfold with a sense of grim vindication. Lisa, feeling the pressure from all sides, reached out to John. "Why are you doing this?" she asked during one of their custody exchanges. John looked her in the eyes, his expression cold. "You destroyed our family, Lisa. This is the consequence of your actions." Her eyes filled with tears, but she said nothing, understanding that John's wrath was something she had brought upon herself. Emily, meanwhile, sensed the tension but was unaware of the details. John kept his actions hidden from her, focusing on being a supportive and loving father. He wanted to ensure that Emily's life remained as stable as possible despite the chaos. "I love you, Emily," he told her frequently. "No matter what happens, that will never change." Emily clung to his words, finding comfort in his unwavering support. John's actions began to take a toll on Lisa. She lost weight, her face drawn and tired from sleepless nights. Her attempts to reach out to friends were met with cold shoulders and judgmental looks. She realized too late that her affair had not only destroyed her marriage, but also her social standing. John watched her unravel, feeling a twisted sense of justice being served. Mark, too, faced the consequences of John's revenge. His suspension turned into a termination, and his prospects in their industry were bleak. He tried to salvage his reputation, but the damage was done. He and Lisa's relationship crumbled under the pressure, leading to a bitter breakup. John, hearing about their split, felt a sense of closure. The two people who had caused him so much pain were now facing their own hardships. As the months passed, John began to focus more on rebuilding his own life. The satisfaction of revenge began to fade, replaced by a desire for personal growth and happiness. He continued to be a strong presence in Emily's life, ensuring she felt loved and supported. His relationship with her grew stronger, a silver lining to the dark clouds of the past year. John's friends noticed the change in him. "You seem lighter," Mark observed one evening. "Like you've let go of something heavy." John nodded, a small smile playing on his lips. "I have," he replied. "It's time to move on." The words felt true, a reflection of his internal journey from pain and anger to acceptance and hope. While Lisa struggled to rebuild her life, John found solace in new routines and interests. He took up hobbies he had long neglected, finding joy in small, everyday activities. His life, once defined by betrayal and revenge, began to take on new meaning. Each day was a step toward healing, a journey he embraced with open arms. John discovered that Lisa's lover was a colleague named Mark. The revelation of Mark's identity added a new layer of betrayal. John knew he needed to expose their affair without implicating himself directly. He carefully gathered evidence, documenting their indiscretions meticulously. Photographs, emails, and recorded conversations painted a clear picture of their infidelity. The next step was to send the evidence anonymously to Mark's wife, Sarah. John knew this would shatter her world, but believed it was necessary. He prepared the package with care, ensuring there were no traces back to him. Late at night, he dropped it off at Sarah's doorstep. The fallout was swift and dramatic. Sarah confronted Mark in a rage, and the news quickly spread through their social circles. Mark's reputation was destroyed, both personally and professionally. Lisa, caught in the crossfire, found herself ostracized as well. The scandal reached their workplace, and HR launched an investigation. The affair had violated company policy, leading to severe consequences. Mark was suspended, his future at the company uncertain. Lisa faced disciplinary action, her career hanging by a thread. The impact on their lives was immediate and devastating. John watched from a distance, feeling a grim satisfaction as they reaped what they had sown. He knew this was only the beginning. John continued to anonymously spread information about the affair. He targeted online forums and social media, ensuring the story reached a wider audience. The rumors multiplied, and soon everyone knew the sordid details. Mark and Lisa became pariahs in their community. Friends and colleagues distanced themselves, unwilling to be associated with the scandal. Lisa tried to salvage her reputation, but the damage was too extensive. She faced constant judgment and isolation. Mark's marriage disintegrated, with Sarah filing for divorce. His professional network evaporated and job opportunities dwindled. John observed their struggles, feeling a mix of vindication and emptiness. Emily sensed the tension and changes in their lives. She asked John questions, seeking to understand the new reality. John chose his words carefully, protecting her from the worst details. He emphasized that they were moving forward, creating a better future. Emily, though confused, trusted her father's guidance. John focused on rebuilding his own life amid the chaos. He threw himself into work, earning respect and admiration from his peers. His dedication paid off with a promotion, solidifying his position. The stability of his career provided a sense of control and accomplishment. It was a stark contrast to the turmoil of his personal life. John's friends noticed his transformation. "You've become so driven," Mark commented one evening. John nodded, acknowledging the compliment. His resolve had hardened, shaped by the betrayal and its aftermath. The pain fueled his determination to succeed and find happiness. He refused to let the past define his future. John also sought therapy to process his emotions. The sessions provided a safe space to explore his feelings. He discussed the betrayal, anger, and desire for revenge. The therapist helped him navigate these complex emotions. Through introspection, John began to heal and understand himself better. Lisa, meanwhile, struggled to regain her footing. Her attempts to reconnect with old friends were met with coldness. She faced daily reminders of her mistakes, with whispers following her everywhere. The loneliness and regret weighed heavily on her. John's absence was a constant void she couldn't fill. Mark's life continued to unravel. The investigation at work concluded with his termination. His reputation was in ruins, and he faced legal battles with Sarah. He tried to rebuild but found doors closed at every turn. John's efforts had ensured there was no easy way out for him. He was paying the price for his actions. Emily began to adapt to the new family dynamics. She spent time with John, enjoying the stability he provided. Their bond grew stronger as they navigated the changes together. John made sure she felt loved and supported. Her well-being remained his top priority amid the turmoil. John also reconnected with old hobbies and interests. He found solace in activities that brought joy and distraction. Whether it was hiking, reading, or learning new skills, he embraced these pursuits. They provided a sense of normalcy and fulfillment. Each day was a step toward reclaiming his life. John's relationship with Emily deepened through shared experiences. They went on trips, explored new places, and created memories. These moments became the foundation of their new life. John cherished these times, seeing them as a testament to their resilience. Emily's laughter and smiles were his greatest rewards. As time passed, John's focus shifted from revenge to personal growth. He realized that holding on to anger was toxic. Forgiveness, not for Lisa or Mark, but for himself, became a goal. He wanted to free himself from the burden of the past. This journey required patience and inner strength. John's friends noticed his evolving perspective. "You've changed," Mark observed. John agreed, acknowledging his growth. The experiences had reshaped his outlook on life. He felt a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. Moving forward, he aimed to build a future based on these lessons. Lisa's attempts to reach out continued sporadically. She sought forgiveness and reconciliation. John remained firm but not unkind. "We need to move on," he told her. His focus was on creating a stable environment for Emily and himself. The relationship between John and Lisa shifted to one of co-parents. They communicated for Emily's sake, maintaining civility. Each interaction was a reminder of their shared past. But John kept his distance, prioritizing his healing. Lisa respected his boundaries, aware of the pain she had caused. Emily thrived under John's care. She excelled in school and built new friendships. John supported her interests, encouraging her passions. Their home became a haven of love and security. The scars of the past slowly faded as they embraced their future. John continued his personal and professional growth. His career flourished, and he earned accolades for his work. He built new friendships and deepened existing ones. Life began to feel balanced and meaningful. The shadow of betrayal receded into the background. Lisa, though struggling, made efforts to rebuild her life. She sought therapy and worked on herself. The journey was difficult, filled with setbacks. But she persisted, driven by a desire for redemption. Her relationship with Emily remained important to her. John's story became one of resilience and transformation. He learned to navigate the complexities of life with grace. The pain of the past no longer defined him. Instead, it became a part of his journey, a catalyst for growth. He emerged stronger, ready to face whatever came next. John's focus remained on providing a stable and loving environment for Emily. He dedicated time to her education and hobbies. They shared countless moments of joy and discovery. Each day was a step toward a brighter future. Their bond was unbreakable. As years passed, John's life evolved in ways he hadn't anticipated. He found love again, cautiously opening his heart. The new relationship brought hope and happiness. Emily welcomed the changes, adapting to the new family dynamics. They created new traditions and cherished every moment together. John often reflected on his journey. The betrayal had been a turning point, leading to profound change. He learned the value of self-worth and resilience. His experiences shaped his outlook, making him wiser. The future held promise, built on the foundations of his past.
John's journey to a new beginning started with self-reflection.
He spent many evenings thinking about his future and the steps needed to move forward. Each day he focused on small, positive changes. Exercise became a regular part of his routine, offering both physical and mental benefits. He found solace in running, feeling the stress melt away with each mile. He also delved into hobbies he had once loved but neglected over the years. Painting, something he had enjoyed in his youth, became a therapeutic outlet. The strokes of color on canvas allowed him to express emotions he couldn't put into words. His apartment filled with vibrant artworks, each piece a testament to his healing process. Friends admired his newfound passion, offering encouragement. John's social life blossomed as well. He reconnected with old friends and made new ones through various activities. Dinner parties, game nights, and weekend trips became regular occurrences. These gatherings provided a sense of community and support. Laughter and companionship helped him rebuild his confidence and outlook on life. Emily continued to be a central focus in John's life. He dedicated weekends to father-daughter activities, creating lasting memories. They explored new hiking trails, visited museums, and tried cooking new recipes together. These moments strengthened their bond, providing stability and joy. Emily thrived in the loving environment John cultivated. John's professional life also saw positive changes. His dedication at work was recognized with a significant promotion. The new role came with increased responsibilities and opportunities for growth. He embraced the challenges, finding fulfillment in his career. His colleagues respected his work ethic and leadership, often seeking his advice. One day, during a quiet afternoon, John received an unexpected call. It was Laura, a woman he had met through mutual friends. They had shared a few conversations at social events but had not grown close. "Would you like to grab coffee sometime?" she asked. John felt a spark of curiosity and agreed. Their coffee date marked the beginning of a meaningful relationship. Laura brought a fresh perspective into John's life. She was kind, intelligent, and shared many of his interests. Their conversations flowed effortlessly, covering a range of topics. They enjoyed spending time together, discovering new restaurants and attending art exhibits. Laura's presence brought warmth and excitement to John's routine. As their relationship deepened, John introduced Laura to Emily. He wanted to ensure his daughter felt comfortable and included. Emily liked Laura immediately, appreciating her genuine kindness. The three of them spent weekends together, building a strong, supportive unit. Laura's involvement enriched their lives, adding another layer of love and stability. John's relationship with Lisa evolved into one of mutual respect. They communicated effectively for Emily's sake, maintaining civility. Lisa acknowledged her past mistakes and focused on her own growth. She respected John's boundaries, understanding the importance of his healing process. Their co-parenting dynamic improved, providing a stable environment for Emily. Emily continued to excel in school and extracurricular activities. She developed a passion for music, taking piano lessons and participating in school concerts. John and Laura attended her performances, beaming with pride. Emily's confidence grew, nurtured by the love and support surrounding her. Her future looked bright and full of potential. John often reflected on the transformation in his life. The journey from betrayal to renewal had been arduous but rewarding. He felt grateful for the lessons learned and the strength gained. His past no longer defined him, but served as a foundation for a brighter future. He embraced each day with optimism and determination. The new year brought fresh opportunities and challenges. John set personal and professional goals, eager to continue his growth. He enrolled in a leadership course to enhance his skills and attended workshops on mindfulness and well-being. These experiences enriched his perspective, reinforcing his commitment to personal development. Laura supported John's aspirations, encouraging him at every step. Their relationship flourished, marked by mutual respect and love. They discussed future plans, dreaming of shared adventures and milestones. John felt a deep sense of contentment and excitement for what lay ahead. Together, they navigated life's ups and downs, stronger as a team. Emily's teenage years brought new dynamics to their household. John and Laura navigated these changes with patience and understanding. They provided guidance while allowing Emily the space to grow independently. Their home remained a place of love and support, fostering open communication. Emily appreciated their balanced approach, feeling secure in their care. John's professional success continued to grow. He led important projects, mentored junior colleagues, and contributed to the company's vision. His leadership style, characterized by empathy and integrity, earned him respect. He felt proud of his achievements, recognizing the hard work and resilience behind them. His career trajectory was a source of fulfillment and pride. Community involvement became another focus for John. He volunteered at local shelters and participated in charity events. Giving back to the community brought a sense of purpose and connection. He encouraged Emily to join him, teaching her the value of compassion and service. These experiences deepened their bond and enriched their lives. One summer, John, Laura, and Emily planned a special vacation. They chose a picturesque mountain town known for its natural beauty and outdoor activities. The trip was a blend of adventure and relaxation, filled with hiking, kayaking, and stargazing. They created cherished memories, strengthening their family ties. The vacation was a testament to their growth and unity. Back home, life settled into a fulfilling routine. John balanced work, family, and personal interests with newfound harmony. His journey had come full circle, from heartbreak to happiness. He cherished each moment, grateful for the resilience and love that guided him. The future remained unwritten, but he faced it with confidence and hope. John's experiences became a source of inspiration for others. He shared his story at community events, offering hope and encouragement. His message was one of resilience, growth, and the power of love. People resonated with his journey, finding strength in his words. John felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing his story could help others. As the years passed, John continued to embrace life's challenges and joys. He remained dedicated to personal growth, always seeking new experiences and knowledge. His relationships with Laura and Emily deepened, marked by love and mutual support. John's life was a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the enduring power of love. Through it all, John maintained a sense of gratitude. He appreciated the small moments of joy, the laughter shared with loved ones, and the peace found in solitude. His journey had taught him the value of resilience and the beauty of life's unpredictability. Each day was a gift, filled with potential and promise.